There's only a few hours left for those eligible to register to vote for the upcoming elections. The IEC will close its voter registration roll at midnight tonight.
Now, earlier this week, President Ramphosa declared the 29th of May as the polling date. He's expected to issue a proclamation of the date today. Now, so far, more than 24.7 million people have registered to vote, and 1.2 million new voters have been added to the voters' roll since November.
And we now go to Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala, who is joining us live from the headquarters of the IEC in Centurion. Nqobile, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. I wonder if the activity has already started ahead of the proclamation that is expected to be signed by the President.
Well, at this point, they're still just monitoring how that's going. In fact, I am joined by the chairperson, so I'm going to bring him in to just give us details in terms of just monitoring how that process is going. Chairperson, are you seeing more numbers coming in?
We have seen more numbers in this year's registration figures. As we anticipate, proclamation happens today, we expect a higher number of those that will be registering, as a last-minute kind of an arrangement. The figures stand at 27.6 million. We think it'll be slightly more than that by the time we certify the voters' roll.
And I understand at this point you also have used online registration. How's that working?
It's working well. It has given us good numbers. Since we implemented online registration, we have more than 2.4 million South Africans that have used that platform for their registrations.
And say I'm not in the area where I should be voting. Can I still register in the nearest area for me to vote?
Registration is very easy. You can register anywhere at the moment. We will then place you on the segment of the voters' roll where you're ordinarily resident. In other words, where your address locates you. So registering, you don't have to be at the station where you need to go. We will allocate you to that station automatically.
And Chairperson, when you did the briefing last time, we know that it was said that usually when the President does announce the dates, then it means it is now closed for registration. But we're seeing that being extended until midnight. Why is it different this time around?
It's important to clarify that question. What the President has done was to announce a date. But in law, he has to publish a proclamation. And that proclamation then closes the voters' roll, or has the effect of closing the voters' roll. An announcement, it's normally used to prepare all of us to know when the President will be proclaiming an election and when an election date would be. So we do anticipate that proclamation will happen today, which then officially closes the voters' roll.
And we know that there's quite a lot of areas where people can register, but do you think these areas are ready for people to go to when voting starts?
Well, if we look at what has happened in the past, all our officers throughout the country will anticipate persons that may be coming to their office to register. But we want to make a very real call and say to South Africans, use our online platforms, that it's going to be a better service to you. We don't, we won't like to see people inconvenienced in long queues at our municipal offices. But if that is the only way people can do, by all means, they're welcome. It would be much easier, though, if they registered online.
All right. And how are you preparing your officers for voting?
That day, it's a day that we prepare for. It takes a long time to prepare for. Our officers are going through training at the moment. Many of them have completed training. They are going through refresher training. There are others that, we are looking to bring in additionally for this purpose. We don't know what the ballot paper in this year's election, how long it's going to be, what it will look like right at the end when candidates have been received. And so we are anticipating that, it is better to prepare for a ballot paper that might be a little longer than we are used to, a little more complicated than we know it to be. And so we are training our officers on that aspect of the work as well. But we are also preparing our nation to understand what this election is going to bring to them. You will recall that in the past we had two ballot papers. A ballot paper for the National Assembly, and then the ballot paper for the provinces. We are going to have two ballots for the elections of the National Assembly and one ballot for the provincial legislatures. And so that is work we need to do. Secondly, in the past you used to go anywhere in your province to vote for your provincial legislature, and you could vote for the National Assembly anywhere in the country. That arrangement has changed. You can only do so now by applying. In other words, informing the Chief Electoral Officer in advance of where you will be on election day, so that we can provide for you there. This thing of shopping for queues has been causing problems, and we are now taking control of it, and we are ensuring that the work that we undertake will be sleek and that the integrity of the elections will be protected.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, for your time. Well, Aldrin, there you have it. Quite a lot of work currently underway, training for the officers, but also just an awareness for people that are out there to know what exactly will be taking place when they go register, but also when they do vote.
Thank you so much, Nqobile Madlala. Remember that you can still go out to register to vote and go onto the IEC's website to register to vote before that proclamation.